Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Alex Smythe.
Have you ever wanted to be the hero of your story? Fight enemies? Travel distant lands in search of honor and glory? Well, that's possible through Dungeons & Dragons, a role-playing game where you use dice and your imagination to make those dreams come true. Knights of the Braille is a D&D group designed for the blind and partially sighted to help the community access the game. The group's creator, Jim O'Donnell, explains why he created the group.
Knights of the Braille is a group of blind and visually impaired Dungeons & Dragons players, although we do cover other role-playing games as well, and the idea is to introduce people to the game as it's very accessible and to take away any of the stigma of it being an inaccessible game. And that's the main reason I started it, is because I was trying to think of an accessible hobby that I enjoy. I wanted to get other people involved, and this gives them the chance to have a hobby with people in similar circumstances that aren't necessarily there just to talk about their disability.
And for someone who doesn't know, what is Dungeons & Dragons and how do you play?
So Dungeons & Dragons has two parts to it. There is the role-playing aspect of it, where you pretend to be a dwarven fighter and I pretend to be a goblin raider, and we play off of each other, or you speak with the other characters in your party, you improvise. There's a lot of improvisation acting techniques used, like the yes and, where you try to elaborate on the story and build with your dungeon master giving you the guidelines of what happens next and what you can do. And then the second part of the game is the mechanical part, where you use dice to roll and determine the success of things. So let's say that Alex wants to cut the head off a goblin. I'll ask you to roll a 20-sided dice, and based on the result of that, we can determine if you successfully chop his head off or not.
Well, I do love to cut off goblin heads, that's for sure. So what else do people need in order to play?
So to play Dungeons and Dragons nowadays, you need a character sheet and you need a way to roll dice. And that's basically it. We play primarily through Discord, which is a server-based application where you can have both text and voice parts to it. It's very useful. At knightsofthebraille.com, we have free accessible character sheets, and there's a few apps as well. But all the resources can be gained for free out there. You use your phone or AI to roll dice, and you can even purchase Braille dice. I think the fact that it's based on imagination and such simple rules, even more simplified now, have made it such a popular game throughout the community.
To demonstrate how simple it is to play, Jim and I acted out an encounter, and with the magic of television, we added some visual flair.
In an encounter or a battle in D&D, I'd set the scene. So we'd say that yourself, Alex the Brave, would walk down a summery country road. Nice flowers and long grass at the sides with a small forest coming up ahead on the left. Usually most of the time I'd ask the player, such as yourself, Alex, what would you like to do next? But it's too late for that, because as you come past the woods, an orc jumps out of the forest towards you to ambush you, and it screams you, "Prepare to die!" And as it comes out at Alex the Brave, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess I gotta ready myself, so I'm gonna pull out my sword and I'm gonna prepare to battle.
So whenever we do anything in the game, it's resolved with a 20-sided dice. You roll the dice, the higher the number, the better. Usually it's compared with another statistic, and by that we can determine if you succeed at it or not.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna roll it, and it's a 17.
Excellent, you hit the orc and you manage to drive your sword into it. But we've got to see how much damage you do to this orc. So we're going to have you roll the appropriate dice for sword damage, which is a D6, which is a 6-sided dice.
Okay, so I got my D6 here. I'm gonna roll it. I got a 6.
As your sword lashes down on the hideously muscular green orc, as it glistens in the sun, its greasy wet hair slicking around it, it comes fopping off as the slicked back hair slaps against the ground of the muddy path next to you, dead, its eyes wide open, blood falling out of it. Alex the Brave, you've just successfully slain an orc that's tried to ambush you, and that's how we would run an encounter in Dungeons and Dragons.
Victory! Oh, that was awesome. And super easy too. So apart from being fun and exciting, why is Dungeons and Dragons so important and so valuable right now?
I think Dungeons and Dragons is important as a social game because it picks your spirits up with people being over the top in these ridiculous fantasy universes. And for those of us that can't sit around and engage in a board game or a card game with friends at the moment, it's really great to chat with people online.
And are there any tips for someone who's new to the game or any of our viewers who may be interested in giving it a shot?
I'd encourage anyone that's not sure about it. They think they might want to play, but they're not 100% sure. You should definitely join our Discord. There's a text chat on there, and people are asking all sorts of questions on there all the time. And the more experienced players and dungeon masters are trying to help answer those and put people's minds at ease and encourage them to get involved. So I definitely encourage you to visit our website and join our Discord.
For those free accessible character sheets and apps Jim mentioned, or to find out more information, visit knightsofthebraille.com.